गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल। आज हम अष्टांग हृदय के रीडिंग पार्ट में नेक्स्ट सूत्र लेके आए हैं। उसमें है रोगम निदानम प्रागरूपम लक्षणों उपशयाप्तिभिः। रोगम निदानम प्रागरूपम लक्षणों उपशयाप्तिभिः। लास्ट लेक्चर में हमने त्रिविध परीक्षण देखा और इस त्रिविध परीक्षण में हमने दर्शन, स्पर्शन, प्रश्नेय ये 3 परीक्षण से हमने ये देखा कि रोगी का निदान हेतु, पूर्व रूप ये सभी चीज़ों को किस प्रकार से हमें देखना चाहिए। ठीक है, तो जब हम त्रिविध परीक्षण करते हैं तो त्रिविध परीक्षण जब हम करते हैं तो हम यही चीज़ें यानी रोगी के रोग का निदान क्या होना चाहिए, इसके प्रोविजनल डायग्नोसिस के what will be the purva roop, what will be the rupa, and how the disease is happen, that is we call संप्राप्ति। ये सभी चीज़ों के बारे में हम ध्यान से आज बात करेंगे वित्त सूत्र। सो निदान पूर्व रूपम लक्षणम उपशयम तथा संप्राप्ति नामक रोग ज्ञान के उपायों के बारे में बताया गया है। तो निदान, what is the provisional diagnosis or what is the diagnosis of the disease? Always remember, never make a hurry to make a diagnosis. Always go through with proper collecting of case history. As per yesterday's lecture I have told, always go through with proper case history, then go with the all clinical symptoms as per the patients, go with all clinical symptoms of dosha, dhatu, mala, okay, and then go through with your provisional diagnosis. In that you will understand some purva rupa, that are the symptoms occurs before the disease happen. Like in the case of a jwara, many time malavastamba, aruchi, these are the symptoms formally found in these cases. Okay, so these are the symptoms may be found in so what are the lakshana? Lakshana are the symptoms which we seen prominently during the roga avastha. Talking about jwara, we will see the lakshana: high grade fever, tapa, angamarda, shirashula, body pain. These are the main symptoms which we seen in the lakshana. Upashaya, when we giving the medicine, the patient feeling better, patient feeling release of the symptoms, the tapa fever lakshan goes down, angamarda releases, aruchi get decreases, it get a ruchi avastha for anna, samata of a jiva get releases when you giving medicine. That is called upashaya. And what exactly happened through all this making of the disease and how it is happened? Like if you say about the samprapti means how the disease is happened. The patient has taken the food, patient has taken the contaminated water, contaminated food, or any agantuja lakshana, and because of that the Jataragni get affected, Jataragni get manda. So there will be a rasava srotasa dushti, rasava sroto avarodha. So there will be aruchi, agnimandya, angamarda of rasava srota dushti. And because of rasava sroto avarodha, there will be again a swedavaha srotasa dushti. Because of that, sweda vaha srotasa get avarodha, and there will be no sweating. So the Jataragni is already a very powerful Agni, the main Agni in the body. It get diminished, it get Agni Mandya, and because of that, other Agni also getting affected like Rasa, Rakta, and Mansa Dhatu also. And so because of that, there will be a avarodha in that dhatu, creating the large amount of heat boundly situated in the srotasa and try to comes out of the body. So this heat in a hydrogen molecule which is produced in the skin, in the srotasa, try to come out of the body through the skin, and there will be a stretch receptors in the arterioles, in the veins, which are the temperature receptors which give the signal to the hypothalamus that there is a production of large amount of heat. So the hypothalamus, where the temperature receptor, temperature controller center, give that signal to the stretch receptor in the intestine and in the vessels, and they try to cool down the temperature. In the process of trying to cool down the temperature, sometimes the temperature might be increased in a more, or sometimes it get decreases and sweating is produced, or the body reactions is happen like shivering. Patient try to get some cloth on the body. So these are the reactions of the body due to the response of the hypothalamus is occurs. So these are the samprapti is happening, and what is the treatment, why the how the upashaya will happen when we giving the medicines. Like if the navajora is there, there will be no need of medicine. We give only langhana chikitsa like a muga, peya, vilepi. So this langhan chikitsa might work to increase the agni, remove the aruchi. So langhana is mainly treatment in every amavastha treatment. And rogaha sarvepi mandagno, that has been told from in the grantha. So mandagni is the main disease of every main cause of every disease. So at every disease, every physician should follow through the langana chikitsa. Langana can be a many types. We can, if the patient go through, physician can go through with many types of langana. It is not that you have to kept for a hungry for a longer time. It doesn't mean of langana. Langana can be your indriya should be a hold for some time for having a large amount of food. The holding of indriya, understanding the urge of hungriness of the indriya, and according to that, warm water, warm peya, warm vilepi, laghu ahara, this type of langhana chikitsa can be happen. There are many langhana chikitsa also कि when patient cannot go through the wind, in the wind or हवा में नहीं जा सकता, तो he can आतप सेवना. So the method to produce the sweating is under the langhana. He can have a steam bath, he can have a warm atap sevana, he can have a kuti sweda, he can have a tapasveda. So this type of Swedan chikitsa steam chikitsa patient can have taken for the upashaya. So these five, nidan, purvarup, lakshan, upashay and samprapti, these are the main classical types of writing the case taking. You must write the hetu, you must write the purvarup, what are the causes of the disease, what are the classical purvarup symptom before the disease occurs, what are the symptoms you find purvarupa, what are the rupa, what are the symptoms are you seeing during the disease caused. Then it comes samprapti, then come upashaya. There are again, next sutra is the bhumi deha prabhedena desh mahuriha dvidha jangalam vat bhuishtam anupam tu kafol balam sadharanam samamalam tridha bhudesham adishet. Now here Acharya want to tell that there are two type of desha, two type of climate, two type of climate. One is bhumi desha, another is the deha desha. Deha desha, when we treating the patient, we are treating the body, we are treating the shariram of the rogi, as well as we have also understand on which part of the dish or the climate the patient is living. Like in North India, in North India, 6 to 7 months, there will be a very much cold climate, starting from November or August. Starting as soon as the rain stop in India, in North India, the cold climate gets start from the August September and it ends around February end. So around 6 to 7 months, the cold climate is present in North India. And in the same way, as soon as the March starts, and around the around it around June, July, in South India also there will be a very hot climate, very hot climate, more than the 40 degree or 38 degrees Celsius temperature is in South India. In middle of the India, like in Maharashtra, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, in these, we don't have a large amount of cold also and large amount of heat also. But nowadays climate is changing drastically, and we have seen the changes in climatic condition and in the desha, bhumi desha. So according to bhumi, we should have the food, we should understanding the diet culture for the patient. Means, if you see in a North India, there the oil consumption in a food, they mostly use the mustard oil, very heavy guru ushna oil they mostly use. They many time use this oil for the purpose of eating also and for purpose of massage also, for hair oil also. But when we go to the South India, you will see they use the coconut oil for the purpose of food intake and for the purpose of body massage and for hair massage also. So why they are using the coconut and why they are using the mustard? Because in that culture, the mustard is mostly produced, sarso is mostly produced in North India as per their climate, and coconut is mostly produced in the South India nearby the sea. They mostly produce the coconut. So according to the bhumi, according to the production of the food in that bhumi, according to that, one must follow the diet culture for that patient. If suppose one Malayali patient is coming to Pune or in Maharashtra, where the climate is different from the South India, and the patient is always have a habit of eating of fish, always having the habit of eating of large amount of steam rice, large amount of sambar, fermented food, he having a habit of eating. And this type of food in the middle of the India's climate, bhumi, patient not get suited, and patient having a problem of agni-mandya, bloating, gases distension, udavarta, and that leads to amavata. Same case when the patient of North India who having the ability to eating a very guru ushna padartha, very snigdha padartha, having eating of very snigdha sarso ki roti with ghee, lot of amount of ghee. And this type of patient when came to the middle of India or go to the South India and they try to eat that food, they got the Agni-mandya because the heat is very much, patient got very much sweating, and because of the sweating, large amount of sweating, the South Indian patient or North Indian patient who having a habit of eating very guru ahara mostly drink lots amount of water due to that sweating, and that leads to Agni-mandya. Again, they having a problem of itching, body itching, rashes all over the body. These are the symptoms patient mostly seen. Okay. So according to the symptoms, according to the bhumi, the ahara physician should prescribe to the patient, and physician, Ayurvedic physician should understand the bhumi desha and the deha desha of that patient. Next, they have described the bhumi desha in three types, like Jangala desha, Anupa desha, and Sadharan desha. As I told, if we move more further, I always want that Ayurveda should spread all over the world. Our physicians should move out of India and spread the knowledge of Ayurveda and basic principles of Ayurveda and the treatment culture of Ayurveda to all over the world. Even if it is in a north of world or south of world or Middle East of Asian or the European country. So this is the time to we should move more our Ayurvedic culture, Ayurvedic Samhita knowledge. Now they are talking about the Jangal Desha. Jangal Desha, where they have told Jangalam Vata Bhuishtam. Jangalam Vata Bhuishtam. A Jangal Pradesh, where the more amount of Vayu is more traveling, like having a lots of amount of desert, like in North India, we found the Rajasthan. There will be more amount of desert, and in Asiatic country also, in African country also, we found more amount of uh, hot climate, and with again the sand or desert. So in that climate, the रुक्ष हवा जो है वो बहती है, the climate of ruksha wind. So there where you didn't find lots of amount of uh, green vegetables, you didn't find the lots of amount of water. So according to that, a hot climate, less amount of water in the body and in the climate, and the disease will be occur due to the lots amount of heat climate. What are the disease they will have? They will have the ruksha skin, they will have the skin disorders. So these are all the diseases, and vata bhuyishta diseases is found in Jangal Pradesha. So according to that, if Ayurvedic physician is working in African country, how will the Ayurvedic physician will work in that Ayurvedic in the African country, where you will didn't find a lots of amount of vegetables, lots of because of the less amount of water. So according to the bhumi, the opposite with the means as a vata, we need a madhura, amla, lavana rasa, snigdha padartha. So these are the food production that must be produced in that bhumi to maintain the vata bhuishta climate. They must culture with the production of milk, production of ghee. But that might be not from the cow, but they might be have a camel or other animals. From there they can have the milk, and they will using that milk to their culture too. Because even that camel or other animals having the milk, they have the lavan matra, the shar matra in that milk. So this type of milk creating ghee, that is also useful in kapha dosha producing diseases. So this ghee can be useful in anupadesha. What happened in anupadesha, like a Pachim Bengal, like a climate of very cold nature, like in Switzerland, or in a very climatic condition of Kashmir, Himachal, very climatic country of in Antarctica, where continuously 6 to 8 months there will be so much of cold, that because of that cold they are unable to move anywhere, unable to go anywhere, completely snow. They they require heater in their room, in their bungalow, continue heater. Even they want to go anywhere in the car also, they want heater. So according to that they have to eat. Our Kashmiri brothers have eaten kava in the morning, very dalchini, ilaichi, this type of cinnamon, this type of tea they regularly eating in that cold climate. They eating the wheat roti with lavana. Their kava is also containing lavana, like dalchini, cinnamon, uh, rose petals, along with rock salt. So rock salt with their herbal tea, and their roti also, like wheat roti also containing lavana rasa. So according to their climate, they are eating the food which will reduce the kapha dosha. How they are using katu tikta kashaya rasatmak ahara. They are using to reduce the kapha dosha, to reduce the uh, cold, whichever around the atmosphere also, because every atmospheric climate is impact on the body, every atmospheric climate. So how in Anupadesha, where the Kapadosha Pradhanta Vyadi, Kapadosha is Pradhanta, where their animals also different. There might be they have a cow, they have a buffalo, where they got the lots of amount of milk. From there they getting the ghee. And the Anupadesha, um, they require more amount of meat. They require alcohol to reduce the coldness inside the body. And as per in the African countries also, where there will be have a more amount of heat, more amount of jungle climate, they are try to eat less amount of non-veg, because of more heat production in the body also. But nowadays the climate is changes. Nowadays in African countries also they're producing lots of amount of trees, lots of amount of jungle. Even in a desert condition also they are they are surviving with accumulating lots of amount of water. They are also producing dam, rivers. Because of that rivers they having a lot of amount of water, and they using their water to the cultivating their farms. So the climate is changing, but still it is a vata bhuhishta bhumi. So according to that, their color also changes. Vata bhuishta Krishna Varni. Anupadesha Kafadosha bhuishta is a Shweta Varni. And Sadharan Desha, where you will find the both climatic conditions patients in Sadharan Desha, where Vata bhuishta people also you will find, Kapha bhuishta people also you will find, Pitta bhuishta people also you will find. तीनों दोषात्मक त्रिदोषात्मक भूमि you will mostly find. So let's talk about the Jangal Desha in, I said, in Arab, African country, in our India, Rajasthan, Pushkar, Bikaner, Jaisalmer, in that country. In Anup Desha, there lots of amount of rain, lots of amount of cold, like in Pachim Bengal, like in Himachal, Kashmir, huh, where you will find lots of amount of jala, lots of amount of water, nadi, river, and Sadharan Desha, where you will find both climatic condition. You will find hot nature also, cold nature also, rains also, everything. Like in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, uh, in this Uttar, uh, Chhattisgarh, you will find both climatic conditions. Now they are talking about the Shanardhi Vyatha Avastha Chakalo Bheshaj Yoga Kruta. शन आदि व्याधि अवस्था च कालो भेषज योग कृत. In Ayurveda, they're talking about the kala. They're talking about kala. Kala is a time. Kala is a time. On which time patient should get up, patient should have food, or their breakfast, their lunch, their dinner. When should patient should have? When should patient should take their medicine? How should patient should take their medicine? Before food, after food, in morning or in evening. So how that will be go? Because many times, if suppose what you want to tell to the patient and patient don't understanding what you want to talk, okay, the patient language is different, your language is different, and you trying to explain the medicine dose to the patient, how you going to tell? You want to tell that this powder form medicine you have to take before food with honey. How you going to tell that patient? You want to tell the take this tablet in afternoon after lunch, and take this tablet in dinner also after the food. How you going to tell to the patient? Patient don't understand your language. So you have to act smartly to tell the patient. Now after food, but you have to give the medicine in afternoon. How you going to tell that take the medicine in afternoon? Patient might take the medicine in morning and you don't want to take the medicine in the morning to the patient. So you're telling the patient to take the medicine in afternoon, but patient don't understand what you want to talk and what you are saying. So the and that time you will understand what is the importance of kala. And the patient don't understanding what you are saying, because according to the avastha of the patient, sama avastha, nirama avastha, you have to give the medicine on the perfect time kala. So there is a time, there is a kala, there is a shana of a vyadhi. So there is a shana of a taking a time of a food, taking a time of a medicine, and there is a shana, that is a avastha, kala of a roga avastha also. What is the roga avastha? There are only two roga avastha. Which one? Ama avastha and nirama avastha. So you should understand on which avastha, which medicine you should give. If you know the avastha, how you diagnose the avastha? By looking the tongue, by looking the netra, by looking the abdomen, by looking the mala, by looking the dhatu, by looking the dosha, you will get to know about the avastha of roga. If it is a ama avastha, sama avastha, are you going to give in a shaya avastha medicine? No. You're going to give the ushna tikshna medicine to proper, to proper the pachana of a medicine, pachana of a roga. You can give Chitrakadivati, Lavangadivati, Bilvadivati for the Amapachana, Punarnavadivati for Amapachana, Sunthadivati for Amapachana. But if you know the patient having a Niramavastha, you can give Amrutadivati, Shatavariyadivati to having a bala to the rogi, to have a bala to the rogi. So you can use Amrutadivati, Shatavariyadivati, Vasadivati, Tifaladivati, which mostly use in Shaya Avastha. So according to the Avastha of the rogi, the medicine should be choose. So there will be a Bheshaj Yoga Kala, medicinal dose Kala, according to the climate and according to the climate of a body, the climate of a bhumi and climate of a body. Climate of a bhumi, according dose Kala, morning, afternoon, night, and the clock of the body also, how the roga avastha in the body, in the bhumi desha and deha desha. Now they have given shodhanam shamanam cheti samasa aushadam dvidaha. Shodhanam shamanam. No, I always told that the treatment should follow in a three-way: deepana, pachana first, shodhana, and then rasayana. Okay, this pattern should be followed always in the chronic disease and in a newly based disease like navajvara, navavyadhi. You can go deepan pachan shamanam chikitsa. There you don't need a shodhanam chikitsa. So there will be, they have given the shodhanam and shamanam. These both they have given shodhanam shamanam cheti samasa दो औषधम द्विधा. किसी भी व्याधि को ट्रीट करने की ये दो चिकित्सा है. These are the two method. One is the shodhana, like a vamana virechana adi chikitsa, and shamana to silence the dosha by deepanam pachana, dosha pachana, by dosha pachana. Beshaja kala, there are many, look, if you talk about the dosha kala, we need to understand the disease kala. Like if the pranava sota dushti, you should give the medicine on prana kala before food. If the annava sota dushti or malavaha sota dushti, you have to give in apana kala after food. If the saman vayu sota dushti, you have to give the medicine before the food, just before the just grasa, or before the grasa, or during the grasa, during the bowl, during the food. You can give medicine during the food, just before the food, just after the food, to cure the saman vayu. If you want to treat the Vyana Vayu, you have to give the medicine after the food, for after 30 minutes of food. After 30 minutes of food. If you want to give Udan to treat the Udana Vayu, you can give the medicine before the food, just before the food with honey, and also after the food with warm water. So in pranavayu before the food with honey, udanavayu before the food with honey, and after the food with the amlarasa, samanvayu with just second, the first grass with medicine during the food and after the food in samanvayu. In apanvayu, just after the food, or 1 hour before the food and 1 hour after the food to treat the saman vayu, or 1 hour after the food to treat the apan vayu. There will be a changes of anupana. There will be changes of anupana. Okay. Means to treat the pranavayu, you need to use honey. You need to treat ghee. Along with the ghee, to treat the udan vayu, you must need honey and hingvadi churan or hingvadi vati, along with the buttermilk or amla rasatmak dravya like a kokum or something. To treat the saman vayu, you need ghee. Along the ghee, the medicine should be given with food, before the food, middle of the food, and after the food. To treat the saman and apan vayu dushti like arsha, pittashmari, or urinary calculus, you need to use the treatment like before 1 hour with warm water or with ghee, after 1 hour with ghee. That is called avapidak. And to treat the Vanvayu, there should be a medicine after 1 hour of the food. Vatakala. On Vatakala. When the Vatakala gets started, you can have the medicines. So according to that, the Kala should be, in that medicine should be given. The format of the treatment should be Shamana. At first, always go with Shaman Chikitsa, Deepan Pachan Chikitsa. And at secondary treatment, always go with the Shodhana Rasayana Chikitsa. So they have written the Sharirajanam Doshanam Kramena Paramaushadam Basti Vireko Vamanam Tatha Taila Grutam Madhu. What they told? They told about Sharirik Dosha Chikitsa. Sharirik Dosha Chikitsa, where mostly for Kapha Dosha we use Vamana Chikitsa, for Pitta Dosha we use Virechan Chikitsa, for Vayu Dosha we treat Basti Chikitsa. Okay, and the Anupana, like in Vata Dosha we use mostly Taila Chikitsa, for Pitta Dosha we use Ghruta Chikitsa, and for Kapha Dosha we use Madhu, yani honey. So these are the things we need to understand in the Sharirik Dosha Chikitsa. In Sharirik Dosha Chikitsa. But what about the Manasik Dosha Chikitsa, like Raja and Tama Guna Chikitsa? Raja and Tama Guna Chikitsa always be treated by Sattva Guna, Sattva Vajay Chikitsa. This Raja and Tama Chikitsa has always been be treated with Sattva Vajay Chikitsa by Dhi Dheryadi Vijnanam. धी धैर्यादि विज्ञानम मनोदो औषधम परम. क्या कहा है? मानसिक दोषों की रजतमादि चिकित्सा को ट्रीट करने के लिए, टू ट्रीटिंग द मानस दोषा ऑफ रजतम गुणात्मक रोगा ऑफ मानस रोगा, वी नीड टू ट्रीट द पेशेंट विथ बुद्धि, धी, धैर्य एंड आत्मादि विज्ञानम. Now this Atmadi Vijnanam means you need to understand the Atmaj Guna. Atmaj Guna. In Atmaj Guna, we need to treat the 20 parts of the Guna. Atmaj, there are 20 Atmaj Guna. According to that, we have to treat the all psychological disorder. So in next lecture, we will going to talk about the 20 Atmaj Gunaha, to how to treat the psychological disorders. Okay, and also more detailing about the Bheshaj Kalaha. More detailing about Bheshaj Kala. Till then, we will stop here and we will meet tomorrow. You also go through with all Bheshaj Kala. Tell me the disease name and how you going to give this medicine. Now, in Jwara, Vata Jwara or Pitta Jwara, how the medicine will be go, on which Kala medicine should be given, and what Anupan, single disease, like in a Udva Rakta Pitta, like in a Shwasakasa, in a Rajayashma, in a Kushta, in Udara, in Kamala, in Pandu, in Atisa, in Pravahika, in So in these diseases, how you going to think about the Veshaj Kala? Which Anupana you will try to give? Think about it. Write about it by your thinking. Don't go with your don't go with your book or the therapeutical index. Just go with your knowledge. How you going to give this medicine? Why you going to give this medicine? And on which Anupana you will give the medicine? And why you using that Anupana? Think about it. And after writing your Anupana according to the disease, then go with the theoretical kala, Bheshaj kala, and think about the Atmaj guna. Just read the Atmaj guna, Atmadi guna. There are might be I might be wrong, but there are 20 Atmaj guna is there, or might be a 6 Atmaj guna. uh, a short version is 6, and very big version is around the 20. So this 20 guna is very important to understanding the psychological condition of the patient, state of the mind of the patient. Okay, till then, thank you.